Good morning. It's really good to see your faces. Welcome to Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Kelly Kinsman, and I'm your worship associate today. I'm joined by our minister, the Reverend Sian Wiltshire, speakers Amelia, Russo-Neustadt, and Shana Ross, as well as Steve Morihiro and Susan Shaw, our co-directors of music, and Danielle Lewis, our director of religious education for children and youth. We all welcome you this morning. I want to extend a special welcome to visitors. If you are seeking a spiritual home, we hope that you will find it here. In addition, if you're seeking the bathroom this morning, it's in the building to the left when you go out. We are a community of many different identities and beliefs. We are bound together not by dogma, beliefs, creeds, or fears, but rather a covenant to create a welcoming, inclusive, and loving community. We say we need not think alike to love alike. In the spirit of building this community, let's recognize the many volunteers who have helped to put this service together today. Here they are on screen. In thanking our volunteers, I also want to name our admin, Sarah Jones, who does so much work for us. Roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones. Seriously. And Zoomers, we invite you to say hello in the chat. And we're glad you're here. As we worship today, let us acknowledge that our church property rests on the sacred ancestral homelands of the Ahachamen and Tongva peoples, who seek justice and responsible stewardship. Our sermon this morning is entitled, Not Just Sitting Still, the Many Traditions of Meditation. Our minister, Reverend John, Amelia, and Shana will share several meditations with us. We begin our worship with the lighting of our chalice. Please join me as we say our unison affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. This we affirm together. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our opening song.
Strong body,
gathered here in the struggle and the power.
Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour.
Gathered here in one strong body.
Gathered here in the struggle and the power.
Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near.
So this morning's service is going to be a little different. It's very much shaped by the moment that we are living in. Many of us are carrying a lot right now. The news alone can feel overwhelming, with fear and anxiety close to home and fear and anxiety across the globe. We hear about violence and political uncertainty in places like Minneapolis and Venezuela, Iran, Greenland, and now, of course, Maine. And those headlines don't stay neatly outside these walls. They come here with us. And alongside the world's pain, many of us are also navigating very personal struggles, whether it's stress at work, strained relationships, health concerns, grief, worry for loved ones in snowstorms, or just plain exhaustion. So, today is for you. For you who carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Rather than talking about how to deal with all of these hard things, we're going to actually practice a few of the ways of dealing with our challenges. And my hope and my prayer is that you will come away today feeling just a little bit better, a bit more grounded, a tad more compassionate, a smidgen stronger to meet the challenges of your life. So after we sing our children out to their religious exploration classes, we'll move into the experiential part of our service. We're going to try 3 or 4 different forms of meditation, most of them just 3 or 4 minutes long. Today is, by the way, not about achieving some perfect calm. We're not trying to reach nirvana, right? We're not going to erase our problems. It's just about building some skills, right? For noticing what's happening inside of us or meeting our challenges with a bit more steadfastness and compassion for ourselves and those around us. And these won't make the world's problems disappear, but they can help us stay present enough to respond wisely and compassionately. So today is kind of a tasting menu of meditation options. We hope that you will carry these into your life, and when you encounter a fearful headline or a hard conversation or a restless night, these will help comfort you. So to begin preparing our hearts and spirits for this time together, our choir will offer us some really beautiful music.
Out of me.
I'm all relaxed already. That sounds nice. So many of you know that I love Scotland. It's one of my favorite places to travel to. Last time I was there, I picked up this story called Bee and Brodie's Mindful Journey. And so today I'm going to try to talk to you in a Scottish accent. Yeah, okay. Just so you know, this hairy little beastie up here, he's not a cow, he's a coo. He's a Highland coo. All right, here we go. I need a slide. There we go. Brodie stood and looked up at the cloudless, bright blue sky. He didn't feel so happy, but he wasn't quite sure why. The honeybees buzzed around him and tried to cheer him up. Be happy, they buzzed cheerfully. Think of life just like a cup that's not just half full, but brimming to the top. Scram, the mouse, cried Brodie. Jings, he was in a strop. No matter how the wee bees buzzed all about the place, none could put a real smile on Brodie's hairy face. His thoughts were a jumble. He didn't know just how to be. He turned his back on the broad day and gazed straight out to sea. His favorite bee buzzed over. Little Bee was her sweet name. Don't waste the day, dear Brodie. Ach, that would be a shame. Bee had always had his heart, and he had hers right back. Her energy would lift him up and put him right back on track. For Brodie was a thinker whose thoughts tied him up in knots. Not always, but just sometimes. Not much, not lots and lots. Now, Brodie, said wee Buzzy Bee, why don't we make a start on the path to special places which warm and lift our hearts? These places are in Scotland, a place that we call home, a place which lifts up our spirits up no matter where we roam, with its cities and its castles, with its sandy island shores, with its wee towns, lochs and rivers. How could we wish for more? This land has always been our strength. It's with us near and far. It's our constant guiding light, just like the great North Star. So, I'm a little bit behind here. Okay. First, they went to Edinburgh Castle and marveled at its glory. They looked at every ancient stone and thought about its story. Atop an extinct volcano, an ancient royal home to lords and ladies, kings and queens, and magical beasts who roam. Round all the open spaces that surrounded its high walls, and now are lush green parks with fountains and waterfalls. Bee and Brodie mindfully stood and stared and listened to sounds round the old castle, feeling sunshine as it glistened. Now, said Bee, let's both go to a place way up on high where we can see the city framed by the bright blue sky. They found themselves on Carton Hill amid monuments of stone, breathing in the clean, clear air. Bee and Brodie felt alone. Standing there together, almost moved the friends to tears, for let them see with fresh eyes their way ahead so clear. They felt so free, that little Bee, reminding her dear friend that the day belonged to them. A day like this should never end. They went next to Dean Village, with its courtyards and its towers, with its old walls made from sandstone and its millstones turned by power. Of waters which flowed northwards all the way to sea, waters said to wash your cares away when you cast them in and let them be. And so that's what the friends did as they stood there side by side. They let their cares go silently and watched them slowly glide, till they floated out of sight and, more important, out of mind. Now, said Bee, best keep moving. Let's leave this special place behind. For Brodie, there is somewhere, which I think you will agree, is one of Scotland's most awesome sights the whole world want to see. Brody gently followed her, for B was always right, and soon the good friends found themselves standing bathed in warm sunlight, divided by the bright blue sea, capital city and kingdom of Fife. B and Brody were speechless. They were really living life. It made the friends so happy. Made the dear friends happy to witness such amazing sights. It inspired them to live life fully and raise their spirits to new heights. Brody felt so happy. His mind was calm and clear. B's love had revived him. So had Scotland he loved so dear. Good friends belong together every single day. When one is feeling low and lost, the other can light the way. And so it was with B and Brody, headed home their favorite place among the ancient trees, where they found the calm and grace of nature in her glory, of flowers in full bloom. Be like B and Brody, and you know that pretty soon. You'll learn to be all mindful and careful with your thoughts. You can make each day a good day instead of drawing lots. To find what mood you might be in, know your mind makes it all real. Live your life, be happy, and know your own ability to heal. Thus ends our story for today. All right, I'd like to invite Daniel Lewis up here to sing our children and teachers out to their religious education classes. Please join me in singing.
Good morning. My name is Shana Ross, and I first learned to meditate in 1972. I know from the crowd that some of you remember 1972. Yeah, so it was, in my world, it was not long after the Beatles met the Maharishi in India. And not long after Ram Dass also met his guru in India. And they all returned, and we saw them, and we knew that there was something deeper and bigger about life than we had been taught. So at the time, I lived on a communal farm in New Hampshire. And some of us on the farm decided we wanted to go learn to meditate. And we took a course called Transcendental Meditation. Are there anybody else here a TM meditator? Yes, see, so a lot of us did that. It's called TM, Transcendental Meditation, and it was a mantra meditation. We learned a Sanskrit word that we repeated over and over and over again, twice a day, 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. So a mantra meditation doesn't have to be a Sanskrit word. It could be any word that moves you, any phrase, to just repeat it over and over again. But we decided in those days, in 72, 73, that we wanted more, so we moved to an ashram with a guru. And we did a lot of meditation practices there. We were supposed to meditate for an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening. It was not easy with an infant. And especially then when there were 2 children, and it was winter in New Hampshire. When I had 2 kids in snowsuits, I said to my husband, I can't do this. I think I'll kill these children. So we decided to come to California, but we didn't know where to go. So we had an old car, and we decided that where the car broke down, we'd figure we were home. Right? Wouldn't you? Oh, lucky for us, it broke down in Santa Cruz. So we lived in Santa Cruz for a long time. We lived in hippie bliss heaven. It was really a great place for the kids to grow up. Meditation was undisciplined, to say the least, but times were fun. Until a woman I thought was a really good friend of mine betrayed me and shunned me. And I was so devastated by the loss of her friendship and by the treatment that I was being not treated to. I was bleeding. I felt like my heart was bleeding as I walked everywhere, and I didn't know what to do. I met a Zen teacher. The Zen teacher said, "Sit on this little cushion facing the wall and sit there and let all of your feelings and all of your thoughts rise up and feel them and let them fall away." I did that for a long, long time. Many, many hours sitting on the little cushion facing the wall with such a vibrant inner life, rising up, falling away, rising up, falling away. And then suddenly, I wasn't so entranced with what was rising up and falling away. My mind was calm. The little thoughts about, oh, she did this to me and all that. I wasn't listening anymore. I was tired of listening to that. And as I withdrew my attention from listening, the mind stopped talking to me like that. And I found something quieter in here, something bigger. I wasn't enlightened, but I certainly had lightened up. And since then, meditation's been a really good friend of mine. I've studied a lot of different kinds of meditation. All kind of boils down to this, to me. It's a mind training practice. I get to decide where my mind goes. And I tell it, okay, we're going to do that word over and over again. Love, love, love. Peace, peace, peace. Peace is in my heart. Peace is in my heart. I can tell my mind what to do. That's actually my job. So, I come today to share with you a practice I use a lot in my life, and I think you might find it useful. No cushions involved, no facing the walls involved either. Here's what it is. I think of it as the two-breath meditation. So let's do it. I'm going to tell you what it is, and let's do it. So first of all, really good if you can put your feet on something solid, on the floor, on the places in your wheelchair, whatever you got there. Put both of your feet down solid and notice your feet. Get down there in your mental imagination and feel your feet. You might want to wiggle the toes or just move the toes. You might want to put the, bang the heels on the floor. You might want to march. You got feet down there, really far from the mental chatter. So what we're going to do is use the breath and the body to pull the attention in. Okay? We're going to stop thinking about what's out there and move it into what's in here. Ready? With your attention on your feet, imagine your breath being pulled up from the floor and your feet being pulled up your legs, your knees, your thighs, your belly. If it's time to exhale, please exhale. And then come back to that breath, pull that breath up from the feet, up through the legs, up through the belly, up through the chest, up through the neck, up through the head. Relax your eyebrows. Yeah. And let that breath and body work all together. Pull yourself in. like a sea anemone. Pull all those tentacles in and breathe. It's really good if the exhale can be a little bit longer than the inhale. Oh, you're good at this. That's it. That's the whole thing. Oh, you like it. I can tell. You want to stay there. Oh, that's cool, because you can. But here it is. You can use this two-breath meditation, this bringing your awareness in with your breath and your body. You can use it right on the spot. Have an argument with somebody? Stop. Feel your feet. Bring the breath up. Bring it up. Keep your mouth shut. Bring your breath. Pay attention. Oh, good. At a protest? Getting pissed off? Stop. Feel your feet. Pull your breath up. Pay attention to your body. Relax your eyebrows. Done. You'll notice that whenever you do this, you're going to feel different in that moment. If you can pull your attention into your body with your breath. Eyes closed or open. If you do it in your car, please keep your eyes open. But you can do it in your car. You still have feet. You still have breath. You still can pull that breath up. So that's the two-breath meditation. It might take you 3. It's okay. No telling. We'll practice it again during service. You can practice it anytime.
I love it. Okay. So thank you, Shana. So Shana said that for her it's about training the mind. That's what meditation is, training the mind. I like that. To me, it's also about noticing what's going on inside of us as well. So we notice the breath, we notice the body. Sometimes we notice, like Brody and B, the beauty around us. Sometimes we notice what stirs in us when we sit with a word or an image or a phrase that speaks to our lives. And these forms of meditations that are often called contemplation are my personal favorite forms of meditation. So the practice we're about to try is a contemplative tradition called Lectio Divina, which is a fancy Latin word which simply means sacred reading. And in this practice, what we do is we listen to a short text multiple times. You can read it as well if you want to do this at home. Poems work particularly well for this, right? Traditionally, it comes out of the Catholic tradition, St. Ignatius. If you're a little bit worried about that, St. Ignatius was Jesuit, which is like the liberal arm of the Catholic Church, just saying, okay? But that's where they would read scripture, obviously. But the idea is we're not trying to analyze or try to figure out what any of this means, what the poem means, what the reading means. Instead, we notice what draws our attention, what resonates, what feels alive. Now, for some, this way of listening is wanting to listen to your own inner wisdom. For others, it's a way of listening to the holy, however that's named or understood for you. And for many of us, it's both. And this practice is, there's no right or wrong way, right? I mean, we're you-use, right? There's no right or wrong way. It's just about being open to insight and to feeling, to possibility. All right, I'm gonna read a poem 3 times, right? Remember, this is a contemplative practice, so there's nothing to analyze or figure out. So for this first reading, simply listen. That's all you need to do, is listen. Let the words just wash over you. And the poem is called Love After Love by Derek Walcott, who is a Caribbean poet. He wrote this. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself, arriving at your own door in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. So as we hear the poem again, you might notice a word, a phrase, or an image that just stands out to you. If that happens, just gently hold it in your awareness. You don't need to ask why it stood out. Just notice it with curiosity. A time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself, arriving at your own door in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. For this final reading, I invite you now to notice what this word, phrase, or image, if there was one, what it may be stirring in you. It might connect to something in your life right now. It might bring up a feeling, a memory, a sense of invitation. It just might simply rest quietly with you, and that's enough. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. We're going to take a few moments of silence. I invite you to sit with whatever you noticed. Just trust that wisdom doesn't always arrive as answers, but sometimes as just presence. As we come out of this quiet listening, I just invite you to notice what you're carrying with you, whether it's a word, a feeling, a sense of holding something you may not be able to put into words. We're going to move into another form of meditation, which Shana mentioned earlier, using song as a kind of chant. Chant is another form of meditation and allows us to simply rest in a phrase rather than our thoughts. And you don't need to sing perfectly or think about the words. You can just let the repetition carry you. So as we sing, you might imagine that whatever you're holding inside of you, maybe it's something from the poem that we just read, from your life, the people you love, even the parts of yourself that need care, the challenges in the world that trouble you. Imagine all that being gently gathered up and being held in this community together. You're invited to join in as you feel able, or to listen and let the words be sung on your behalf. Please join Rose as we sing.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all I rest in this love. We rest in this love. We rest in this love.
Wow. Thank you. So let's try that two-breath meditation one more time. Practice makes perfect, right? I was just thinking, though, during this song, so what is love? What is that love holding me? It's attention. To me, it's attention. We know our kids and our dogs love attention, our grandparents and our parents, our boyfriends and our dinner preparations. The attention is what makes things come alive. So here we're going to practice bringing the attention back down to those feet. Got them? Feel them down there? Whoa. They're way down there. And feel your feet way down there. And use your breath to pull your attention up from your feet, up through your legs, up to your torso. Breathing in and out, pay attention to your breath. Without that, we're not alive. Bring that breath up into your lungs. Fill them up. Bring that breath up into your neck, your head. Relax the eyebrows. And bring that attention up all around your body now. A breathing, beautiful, joyous oneness, breath and body. Thank yourself for taking the time to do this today.
That's wonderful. Good morning. My name is Amelia, and in a nutshell, my reasons to begin meditation practice were twofold. First, I wanted to try to restore my health. And secondly, I wanted to help myself not miss out on my life, which had been spinning so fast. Ultimately, as I'll retell, my reasons came to include helping others to also suffer less and to help build a community of practice that can support one another. Because let's face it, we know it isn't easy to keep a mindfulness practice going in our modern society. It's very counterculture. It's to slow down, to cultivate things like quiet, observing presence, to simplify our days, to be less oriented to acquiring more, achieving more, doing more. That's counterculture. So it is difficult. So back when Aaron and I joined this church in 2008, I was just beginning to rekindle a forgotten spirituality in my life. I had already been on the mouse field for quite a while by that point, multitasking in my work as a doctor, professor, researcher, trying to make a big splash in my field of neuroscience for my lab in my school, which was Cal State LA. So I was also commuting a long distance. So I was doing all that when suddenly I stopped sleeping through the night. which really got my attention. And I was feeling increasingly anxious and strung out. So I turned toward an old interest, a medical system associated with yoga that many of you might know about called Ayurveda. I started learning about balance and health, and my practitioner kept steering me toward meditation. So I started reading about meditation. You know, all these wonderful authors that are available now, and I was finding it really fascinating. All the Vedic and Buddhist philosophies, they just made such logical sense, and I was really fascinated by it. But it wasn't until 5 years after I started this journey when I stumbled upon the teachings of Thich Nhat Hanh, and then stumbled on the online Sangha, or online meditation group that I actually started to practice, because that was, this group and this teacher had such a practical approach. So then I actually started to practice on a regular basis. First, I started by doing it on my own, spurred along by listening to a Dharma segment, like a segment of a Dharma talk that were being posted online as Thich Nhat Hanh and his community were traveling around from place to place. They would put the Dharma talks online, and they were very inspirational. So I would listen to those and try sitting a little bit each day. But our teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, who we affectionately refer to as Tay, teacher in Vietnamese, he kept saying, you can't do much without a community, without a Sangha, as we put it. So about 2 years later, in 2015, I finally got the courage to join a local Sangha in Orange County called the Empty Wave. And very quickly, I became part of the organizing and caretaking team, as this was so important to me. It was becoming increasingly important. So practice has been, for me, a gradual but wonderful process of becoming more in touch with the wonders contained in each wakeful moment. It's helped me to rest better and to pace myself more wisely, even before I was able to reduce my workload and my commute. In 2016, I shared an aspiration with Tay to bring the practice to my school, where I started developing and giving wellness workshops, and to our church, where I initiated a once per month meditation group at that year. And so we're coming full circle, because we're going to try to reinitiate the Before Church meditation group once a month. And I feel honored to be part of this community today and to be able to share my story. So thank you very much for listening. So what we're going to do as our next sample of a type of meditation is movement. Movement is meditation. To be able to connect our breath with our body by moving. Meditation doesn't always have to be perfectly still. So we're going to try this out together. You can stay seated as you are. I'm going to stand only because if I go back to my seat, you might not be able to hear me well. So yeah, just where you are, if you can. Just find a comfortable spot where you have your feet flat on the floor like before, and feel grounded. And begin to raise your arms. See if I can still do this while being connected to the microphone. Raise your arms in front of you as you breathe in, with your palms facing one another as you breathe in, and breathe out. Straight back down. Just let your breath be the boss. Don't make your breath match your movement. Make your movement match your breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. Breathing in. Breathing out. And let these movements be associated with your breath, but you might notice your breath become naturally slower and deeper when it's getting your full attention. So here's one other. If you can keep your elbows and hands together and just breathe in. Breathe out. And again, your own pace. Breathing in. Breathing out. Oops, sorry. Breathing in. Breathing out. Just so that the body doesn't feel left out, other parts of the body. We'll do a little bit. If you can place your left hand on your right thigh, and as you breathe in, turn. And as you breathe out, return to the front. Place your right hand on your left thigh, and as you breathe in, turn. And breathe out, return. That felt good. Let's do it one more time. Right thigh, breathe in. Breathe out. Left thigh, breathe in. Breathe out. And just notice how your breath and your movement make you feel. Thank you so much for practicing.
All right, so we didn't look for a single answer today or a right way to be calm in a world that is anything but calm. Instead, we're practicing a few small ways of returning to ourselves. None of these practices are meant to make our worries disappear. They won't fix the news or mend a broken relationship or make a hard job suddenly easy. But they can help us meet these moments with just a little more steadiness, a little more kindness toward ourselves and to others, and give us a little more room to breathe. My hope is that when the world feels overwhelming, when your heart is racing, when emotions arrive uninvited, when your body holds more than your mind can name, that you might remember one of these simple practices, whether it's just pausing, a breath, a movement, a word, a melody that reminds you that love is here, holding you, maybe holding all that you love. May you go from this place knowing that you carry more resources with you than maybe you realize, and that you can, like Brody and Bee, discover that you can be your own healers. May you meet the days ahead with gentleness and hope, and may you remember in moments both ordinary and difficult that you don't have to face them alone. Let us sing. Please join Nancy. She's got some wonderful movements for you too.
I've got peace like a river. 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 I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love and devotion. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. In my soul.
I would rather just keep breathing. Reverend Sean, Amelia, and Shana are interested in knowing if you have any long-term interest in meditation groups or workshops in the future. At some point, I think after the plate is passed, a survey will be available and distributed with writing utensils. And if you can fill that out and leave it with the ushers or by the door when you leave, that would be really helpful. Thank you. Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting. Members and friends raise all funds for the operating budget, ministries, and programs of the church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church amplifies the spirit of generosity by sharing half of the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. This month, we are partnering with Tilly's Life Center, TLC, a youth-focused, nonprofit charitable foundation aimed at empowering all teens with a positive mindset and enabling them to effectively cope with crisis, adversity, and tough decisions. Their mission is to inspire today's youth to reach their full potential as productive, kind, happy, and responsible individuals. There are multiple ways in which you can support the church and this organization. You can mail a check, You can go through the website or use an app called Vanco Mobile. If you're a roomer, you can simply use the basket as it is passed. The choice is yours. All of the information is available on our website if you need it. As always, thank you for your generosity.
Please join in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts we share. We gather together, we gather as one, for peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
Now, of course, is that time when we honor the important events and people in our lives, and you are invited, one and all, whether you're a member, friend, or visitor, to participate in this weekly ritual we call Joys and Sorrows. The idea is if you've come here today where you're holding something sort of profound in your heart, a joy, a sorrow, a gratitude, something that you would like to honor, you're invited to do so by coming forward to light a candle. If you're a roomer, you can come forward and light the candle. If you'd like to share it with the community, you can write it on a slip of paper that the ushers also have and can pass out to you. If you want to raise your hand, you can write it out on a slip of paper and simply hand it to me as you come forward to light your candle. If you're a Zoomer, what you can do is write it on a slip of paper. Where is my phone? Thank you. You can write it in the chat, and then Judith, who is my pastoral care associate, I'd like to invite up here right now, she will light a candle for you. So please go ahead and write them in the chat. And please come forward, light your candle, and then I'll read them out loud. Thank you. go ahead and read. So I had a couple of sent to me. So Adam G., who I saw light a candle already, but he sent a Joy to me and said ahead of time. He said, "Joy, I've been taking a weekly writing workshop at REI, that is the Recovery Educational Institute. And he said, it's going well. He said, I might actually finish this class." Excellent, Adam. And Meg W. said, happy to report that she visited Dolly D. Down in Mission Viejo. She's a longtime member of this congregation. And Dolly has settled into her new assistant's residence very nicely, seems as happy as one can be, and is showing signs of her known humors peeking through from time to time. Dolly, for those of you who don't know Dolly's our local curmudgeon with a twinkle in her eye. Dolly would love to receive cards and especially emails with photo attachments. She really does miss OCUUC very much. Meg will have slips of paper with Dolly's contact information at the welcome table out here after the service. She does say she doesn't like in-person visitors, but she loves getting emails. For those of you who know Dolly, please send her some pictures. She loves to see pictures of what's going on here and everything like that. So let's see here. All right, let's see here. I think that's it for those that were sent to me ahead of time. I do want to say online, we've got Lee Marie. She says, please light a candle for me for her health concerns. She's going to be going into surgery, I know, this coming month. Ongoing issues. Oh, poor thing. I know there's other people who have said this too, but Sarah J. Wood, she says, please light a candle of sorrow for Francie. Many of you know Francie C. She fell and fractured her arm. Yeah. So, and Sarah also says, a joy. She says, happy birthday yesterday to my beautiful friend, Rachel L. So, who's right back there. And Julie C., she lit a candle already. She said, for Sharon B., who's having her birthday this week. So happy birthday to Sharon, who's usually on board, so everybody wave. You can see you over here on the Zoomers. Wave hello there. And then these beautiful flowers by Sandy. You see where it says Martin. So these flowers today are in honor of her husband, Don, whose 86th birthday is next Saturday. So Sandy, for those of you who know, Sandy does our flowers every Sunday, just about every Sunday. And so these are special ones for her husband. That's lovely. All right, so Elizabeth also lit a candle of joy for happy birthday to Rachel. She says, the world is a better place with you in it. Amen, I totally agree. And then she also said that she has the best news yet. Elizabeth says, I officially put in personal leave of absence from the work school until after spring break to be extended if the current situation is not resolved by then. If you recall, she's been going through a really tough time at work. Looking forward to taking care of me. Already have many art-related activities lined up to feed my soul. And her son is making sure that that happens. He's on her. So I think that's absolutely lovely. Sarah C. said she lit a candle of joy because she started art class and she's joined the choir. Yay. Sarah says, I like to make sewing patterns and articles. Excellent. And Mifanwi, she lit a candle of joy. She said, John and I will celebrate our 41st anniversary on January 26th. That's tomorrow. And she says, I must have been a good girl. He hasn't kicked me out of the house. Peggy H. says, candle of thanks and joy for Carol Rohr and the Lockeries for hosting a lovely auction event highlighting their travels to Italy, Germany, and sharing a wonderful food. Excellent. That was yesterday an auction item. For those of you who are new, you got to come to the auction because it kind of sets the social calendar for the year, because Lori M. then also said at Candle Joy there was another auction event last night. She said, I went to the Judy and Rob, she want to thank Judy and Rob for hosting the play reading event last night. We had so much fun reading and laughing together. We bonded together as a group. Rob actually wrote a screenplay about British detectives that is a spoof. It's detective cliche. Okay. It's very funny. We had fun laughing. Okay. Avery B., if you remember last time he said he was going before the court about whether or not they would actually be deemed actually disabled, and they lit a candle of joy. They say, thank you everyone for the nice card and good wishes for my disability case. The hearing went well and the judge awarded me a fully favorable decision. Yay! Avery goes on to say, I brought the card with me in my bag for good luck. Aww, that's very cool. And then Catherine M. Also lit a candle of joy because Catherine and Derek welcomed their new twin grandchildren this week. Samuel and Juniper Dunrankin all are healthy and they're warm. That's really important because they're back in the Midwest. All right. I'm going to do my best to pronounce this name correctly, which has been very nicely phonetically put out for me. Aomawa. That's it? Aomawa, excellent. Aomawa lit a candle of joy for an unexpected trip to the beach and letter from God, bringing me peace and joy in my heart after much suffering. Amen. Very nice. And Nina T said that they had lit a candle of joy because they have completed 90 days of a mental health output program. I think they say, nope, for the rest of my days. So congratulations, well done. Or maybe that's hope for the rest of my days. I think that was hope for the rest of my days, yeah. Handwriting, okay. Sorry about that, Nina. Okay. Laura G., she lit a candle of concern. Many of you know Paul, who has her father, who's been a longtime member here. He has been in the hospital this week. He is feeling better and will be discharged tomorrow. He's been having trouble breathing. Jeffrey S. over here would like to invite you. He says that a friend of mine would like prayers because her mom recently passed from cancer. And Aaron N. lit a candle of concern. He said, my friend Sue, who recently had an MRI that discovered a lesion on her lung. Let's pray that the condition is benign. Elizabeth K. Lit a candle of concern also for Frances Hughes in the hospital with a fractured arm. She's not answering her phone to get an update, but please send healing positive thoughts her way. She also lit a candle of concern for Cinnamon. Maria Good's dog was in the animal hospital last night with a blocked intestine. We think he ate someone's, calzones. Underwear. Okay. He is home now. Both Maria and the dog are resting. Okay. You can't make this up. Okay. And Rose, of course, I think speaks for many of us when she lit a candle of sorrow for Alex Preddy, who was killed in Minneapolis. And she also lit a candle of joy for solidarity in Minneapolis, which we're also all feeling. Okay, let us hold in love all the joys and celebrations, all the hurts and sadness, both spoken and silent. Let our joys remind us to be thankful, our concerns remind us to hope, and our sorrows remind us to connect. Let all these moments remind us that we are not alone. Yes, I did. Yeah. She's asking if I did the Zoomers. I did, Lee Marie. And yeah. And yes, so please join Judith in a spirit of prayer. Come on up here, Judith. Thank you for checking in on me.
I'm confused. So I bring you a meditative prayer written by Reverend Shana. I invite you to settle into a comfortable position and take a slow, gentle breath. As you breathe, hold in your awareness all that has been shared here, the joys and the sorrows, the hopes and the fears, the gratitude and the longing. You don't need to fix anything. Simply notice what it feels like to be part of a community that tells the truth of its lives. If there is joy stirring in you, allow it to warm your heart. If there is sorrow or worry, see if you can hold it with kindness, just as you would for a dear friend. As we sit together in this shared quiet, remember that none of us carries these things alone. We are held by one another, by the deep interconnection of life, and perhaps by a love deeper than we can imagine. Let us rest here for a moment. Amen, and blessed be.
Let us join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice and say together, we extinguish our chalice,
but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment.
These we carry in our hearts until we are again together again. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you are a guest or a visitor or someone who hasn't yet been, I'm really glad you're all here. If you're a guest, a visitor, or someone who hasn't yet been known to us, I invite you to become a part of this beloved community. If you would like to know more about our church, we invite you to either stop by the welcome table in the courtyard or contact us at one of these email addresses, and we will help you get connected. Zoomers are welcome to stay after and chat with one another online. We want everyone to feel a part of this beloved community. So please reach out and we will get you connected.
All right, first of all, I just want to apologize really quickly for the fact that we've gone over quite a bit of time this morning. This isn't normal for us, but I just want to point out a couple things. We do have the LGBTQ Action Group is meeting today in the Victoria Room. We have a guest speaker from PFLAG coming, so I want to invite you to go and hear what they have to say, particularly in solidarity right now with all of the LGBTQ community. They could really use our support and understanding about what is being challenged right now here in Orange County and around the United States. So, all right, that's basically, you can see everything that's going on up here. We're going to do one last reminder of our 2-breath meditation.
By now, we're going to do this one more time as a way of bringing in all these wonderful ideas and uplifting feelings that you've been experiencing today. So once again, starting with your feet, find your settled spot again, and as you breathe in, bring that wonderful and life energy up through your feet, And do just a little quick body scan up your legs, your torso. Breathe out whenever needed, and continue maybe with one more breath. Get through your chest, shoulders, neck. Feel everything relaxing as that wonderful, loving, mindful energy continues through your head, up to the top of your head. And that probably took only 2 breaths to do that. It's a wonderful practice. Thank you so much, Shana, for sharing it. And thank you once again for your practice.
All right, let's sing our recessional song.
Let's go out and all in the world. Let's go out. Bring joy to the heart. Let's go out. Living here for this world. Let us go out in joy. Let us go out and all to the heart. Let us go out. Bring joy to the heart. Let us go out. Living here for this world. Let us go out in joy.
This service is over. Let our service continue. Bless you all.